Welcome back, everyone. And we got a lot to talk about today. And I think you already know what we are talking about. We're talking about Gianni Infantino and FIFA's new corruption, a new way for them to get money. And this news has sparked a lot of debate over the footballing world. And I wouldn't even really call it debate. Mostly everyone is against it. 99% of fans are against it. A lot of journalists are against it. But there are probably some people who are for it. So FIFA announced a plan to create a new commercial company that would manage and grow the commercial rights for all FIFA competitions such as the FIFA World Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup. This does not include any domestic leagues or any competitions based and hosted by confederations such as CONCACAF's Gold Cup, Copa America for South America, any UEFA competitions, anything like that. FIFA has also discussed up to a 20% stake in the new commercial business to outside investors, so people who are investing into FIFA. And according to FIFA, the goal is to generate more revenue and expand the global game. UEFA and several other national football associations criticize FIFA for moving forward without enough consultation or transparency beforehand. Many people believe football's biggest decision should involve the organizations that represent the sport around the world. I disagree with what FIFA is doing. Football has always been about the fans, and this feels like another step towards turning the sport into a business instead of keeping supporters at the center of the game. My biggest concern isn't really the investments itself, it's what could happen because of them. At this last World Cup, we already saw how expensive tickets would become, and my worry with these continued investments, FIFA's gonna make more money, they're going to wanna have tickets cost more, and it would become even more expensive for people to buy tickets for the upcoming World Cup. So football exists because of its supporters. Fans fill stadiums every week, travel across the world to support their teams, support their countries, and pass their love of the game down through generations. If attending matches become something only the wealthy can afford, which we saw mostly at this World Cup, football starts to lose part of what makes it special. So today, we're gonna go on X, formerly Twitter, and take a look on how people reacted to Gianni Infantino and FIFA. Alright, so the first tweet we're looking at: could anyone imagine the privatization of the Olympics? Football doesn't belong to FIFA, it belongs to the fans. The World Cup can't be sold or privatized. Football associations and fans won't stand for this. I think this is a good comparison because the only thing comparable to the World Cup is the Olympics. And yes, they both belong to the fans. Us fans will not stand for FIFA doing this and trying to have more private investors making more money off the game. Sport in general belongs to the fans, and FIFA is trying to make it so only the rich elites, the oligarchies of the world, can invest and enjoy these games. So this is a combination of two tweets right here. UEFA nations ready to boycott the World Cup in opposition to Infantino's plans to sell off part of FIFA's to private investors, with an emergency meeting of UEFA nations planned this week. UEFA holds all the cards. Given the dominance of European sides, it could just set up its own breakaway World Cup with 16 qualifiers from Europe and invite the top 5 South American and African countries and the top 4 Asian and top 2 North American countries, and go back to one country hosting the tournament. So this kind of goes back to how the World Cup used to be when we had 32 teams, which wasn't even that long ago if we just go back to the 2022 World Cup. But there's a pattern that's starting to form here where you'll see a lot of Europeans trying to take UEFA should lead everything. It's all about UEFA. It's all about Europe. When they do need to remember it's the world's game. I do think UEFA can probably run it better than FIFA, even though both Sepp Blatter and Gianni Infantino came from UEFA. They're both Swiss. So we'll see how that goes. I do think the World Cup is going to need some changes. I actually think 64 World Cup could work, but that's a topic for another day. I've said for years to keep America far away from the sport. As soon as they get involved, this stuff is coming into conversations. This tweet is becoming very common. I've seen it quite a bit, and I've responded to quite a bit of them, but it's not Americans, okay? It's the rich elite, and it's not just the rich elite in America, it's the rich elite throughout the world. Americans who support soccer, who support football, who support the beautiful game. I guarantee almost 100% of us don't like this and hate this. So stop saying Americans. You could say the oligarchies in America, the rich people in America want this, but not the people who actually support the game. We do not want this. So stop trying to say it's us. Now we have UEFA's statement on FIFA's plans. Today we learned on FIFA's deadline to associations to support their proposals or have the one-off payout offer withdrawn. This is everything you need to know about their plan, but having held discussions with many stakeholders across the game, UEFA knows there is significance in growing opposition to FIFA's scheme. FIFA cannot continue to use our sport to enrich themselves and their friends. We can grow the game correctly. It's time to prioritize association clubs, leagues, players, and fans. So yeah, FIFA is trying to continue to grow the game in the way they want to do it. UEFA thinks they could do it better. However, I'm not the biggest fan of everything UEFA has done in their past. But if they think they could take charge, then they need to grow the game in a way that's beneficial for the entire world and not just Europe. It is time to prioritize the associations, the clubs, leagues, players, and fans, but how do you go about doing it without showing a European bias? Yes, UEFA makes the most money. The Champions League, the Premier League, La Liga, they have a lot of money. So how do you grow the game by being fair to all the other nations? And this will lead to the argument, maybe there's a reason why some nations want to back up Infantino. UEFA has convened an emergency meeting of members online for Thursday to discuss opposition to Infantino's World Cup sell-off, threatening a boycott as they did in 2021 before FIFA dropped the biennial World Cup plans. So UEFA has done this before, where they have fought against FIFA when FIFA tried to have a World Cup every 2 years, and it worked. So UEFA holds a lot of power, and I do think what Infantino is doing isn't going to work out. UEFA is going to win. The world is going to win. But I do think this time around, we're going to need a lot more confederations to join together. Because a lot of confederations do rely on this money, especially a lot of smaller nations. And if each nation each gets one vote, which is how it works, then maybe even a lot of the smaller European nations would want to join in with Infantino. Which leads us into our next tweet. Czech's FA president has backed FIFA's plan to sell commercial rights to private investors. I can see the pragmatic benefits for Czech football from working in close operation with Infantino and his team. So we already see a member of UEFA siding with Infantino and saying how it could benefit the federation. In Czechia, it's not a small footballing federation. There's a lot of footballing federations that are a lot smaller in Europe and in the world. So if you think about it that way, they benefit from this. They do benefit from this. So UEFA needs to make a stand and try and get more people on their side. Now we move to a statement from another confederation, and it's a long one, so bear with me. CONCACAF's statement regarding the proposed FIFA Forward enterprise. CONCACAF was only made aware of this matter through media reports and subsequently a media release. We are deeply concerned by the lack of due process. We share the disappointment of many within our region and the game that this level of detail has been designed and shared publicly before any discussion with the relevant government bodies and stakeholders has taken place. As leaders within football, we are the custodians of the game. Collectively, FIFA, the federations, and every member association has a responsibility to always act in its best interest of the sport. Every decision we make must be guided by good governance, robust process, and long-term stewardship. This is the framework within which CONCACAF operates. We trust that all within the FIFA family will act in the same manner. I interpreted this tweet as a very 50-50 tweet from CONCACAF. They're more upset that they weren't consoled about this idea rather than flaming Infantino for actually going through with it. They're kind of like, hey, we should have been involved with this to begin with. So I could see CONCACAF kind of going either way. At least they've made a statement. I don't think every federation has made a statement as this video is made. I don't think the African Confederation has made a statement. I think it's only been UEFA, CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, maybe Asia? I haven't seen an Asian statement yet, so. But it's glad that more countries or more confederations are making statements, but it would be nice if CONCACAF actually took a side. Can't believe Coca-Cola, Visa, Adidas still drowning FIFA with money due to their sponsorships. Every true football fan should boycott their products. It's only the message these greedy fuckers understand. Pre-spread and retweet. So yeah, a boycott. Boycott FIFA's sponsors. Coca-Cola, huge one. Visa, huge. Adidas, huge. Boycott them. Show what FIFA's doing is not right. Make these companies take a side, even though they're probably going to take FIFA's side because this gives them more money as well. but at least it shows them, hey, the fans aren't involved, and maybe you get 1 out of 3 of them backing out of sponsorships with FIFA until this sorts out. It's an idea. Do I think it's gonna work? Probably not, because these companies also like money, and unless hundreds, thousands of, maybe even millions of people stop buying these products, then nothing's gonna change. But the thought's there. From February 26, 2016, Gary Lineker tweeted, "Have this weird feeling that Gianni Infantino will pull off his mask to reveal Sepp Blatter." Really spot on tweet from Gary Lineker, except when Infantino pulled off his mask to show that he was Sepp Blatter, the mask was pulled off again to show that Sepp Blatter was really Gianni Infantino, because, dude, Infantino is so corrupt. It's insane how corrupt this dude is. Like, Sepp Blatter was corrupt, but he was like classy corrupt, where he kind of said like money under the table type stuff, didn't like to get involved with too many things, try to keep, you know, the game flowing as good as it could be. Dude, Infantino just likes money and power, dude, and he makes it very obvious. He doesn't even like soccer. He doesn't like football. He just wants money and power. Problem UEFA have got, like every other federation, is the smaller nations will want this. UEFA can't pull out, obviously, if they don't get a majority. Nuts countries like San Marino and Andorra have a level vote with England, Spain, and France. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was talking about before, where, hey, everyone has a level vote. The smaller countries probably want this to help improve their footballing federations. We do got to take in consideration the smaller football federations. How do you grow the game with them? So that's why I go back to UEFA. How are you going to help the smaller countries, not just in Europe, but throughout the world? How are you going to help a Togo in Africa? How are you going to help a Cambodia, a Vietnam? Actually, Vietnam's actually doing pretty well for themselves. They're growing the game pretty well. How do you get the vote of those countries on your side, those smaller countries? The Americans want to turn the World Cup into the NFL. If they have their way, the World Cup will be 4 quarters, halftime shows, 64 teams over 3 months, move to every 2 years, with it always being hosted in America every other tournament. Can't let it happen. For one, this is a stupid tweet. Us Americans don't think that, at least the ones who actually watch the beautiful game, who watch soccer, who watch football. We want the World Cup to be every 4 years because it's such a big grandeur surrounding it. It feels like the world's having a party and we want to be a part of it. We don't want the World Cup to be 4 quarters. A lot of us hate the frickin' water breaks unless they're absolutely necessary. As for the 64 teams thing, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that because we haven't seen it yet. Maybe it's better. It could be worse. Over a 3-month season? No, we don't. We like it being like a 1-month party. Move to every 2 years. I already said, man, we don't want that, dude. It's stupid. It's once every 4 years. And hosted in America every other tournament, that's not how it works. The only reason we have a chance to host in 2038 again is because of all these countries hosting tournaments in the 2030 and 2034 World Cup. So that's not really our decision, okay? So grow up a bit. American oligarchs saw the money the World Cup made and decided that renting it wasn't enough. Yeah, I actually agree with this tweet, and it's not targeting Americans, the ones who actually watch the game, the ones that actually like soccer. It's targeting the rich. It's targeting the elite. And this is correct. The rich want their money, and they know how profitable the World Cup and FIFA can be. And they want to make it their way and Americanize, capitalize, commercialize it in their own way. This is a very good tweet that I think actually represents what FIFA is trying to do. It's trying to appease the rich and not the working middle class people that the game is for. So I want to leave this video with some final thoughts. Whether this plan ends up helping FIFA financially or not, I think the most important thing to remember is that football belongs first and foremost to the fans. There is no atmosphere, no tradition, and no amazing World Cup experience without them. Money will obviously be a part of football. That's just a way of life. But it shouldn't come at the expense of people who make the sport what it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.